Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something powerful. Peace isn't found in avoiding chaos, it's found in learning not to be moved by it. Every day, the world will test you through people, situations, and words that try to pull you out of your calm. But being unbothered isn't about not caring, it's about caring differently. It's about training your emotions, not ignoring them. When you master the art of staying unbothered, you stop reacting to noise and start responding to truth. Because real power isn't loud, it's quiet, it's presence. It's the ability to stand firm when everything around you tries to shake you. Emotional control is strength, not silence. You see, too many people think staying calm means staying weak. They think if you don't respond, you don't care. But that's not true strength. Strength isn't in the reaction, it's in the restraint. It's in knowing that your emotions are tools, not weapons. When you master your emotions, you start to see situations clearly instead of emotionally. And when you see clearly, you choose wisely. Think about it. Every time you react without control, you give someone else power over your peace. You hand them the remote control to your mood. But when you train yourself to pause, to breathe, to think before you speak or move, that's when you start taking your power back. Because being unbothered doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you've learned to feel without falling apart. It's not about pretending nothing affects you. It's about choosing what deserves your energy. Not every argument deserves your opinion. Not every insult deserves your attention. Not every disappointment deserves your despair. Some things are better left unanswered because silence speaks louder than defense. You've got to understand, when someone tries to get a reaction from you, what they really want is control. They want to know they can shake your calm. And when you stay grounded, when you stay composed, you show them something they can't manipulate: your peace. Training emotional control starts with self-awareness. You can't manage what you don't recognize. So when anger rises, don't rush to speak. When anxiety whispers, don't rush to fix. Observe what's happening inside you. Most of the time, it's not the situation that hurts us, it's our story about the situation. We replay what they said, what they did, what we should have said back, and before we know it, our peace is gone. But when you learn to stop reacting and start reflecting, you begin to realize how much energy you've wasted on moments that didn't deserve you. Being unbothered is built through repetition. You train it like a muscle. The first time you stay calm in a storm, it's hard. The second time, it's easier. The third time, it becomes natural. And that's when you notice something powerful. The same situations that used to trigger you no longer move you. That's growth. That's peace. That's emotional maturity. It's not built in comfort. It's built in conflict. You can't learn calm in calm. You learn it in chaos. You learn it when everything in you wants to react, but you choose to respond with discipline. Let me tell you something. Emotional control doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you express them in ways that align with your values. You can speak truth without shouting. You can set boundaries without bitterness. You can walk away without explaining. Because when you know your worth, you stop needing validation. You stop chasing closure from people who broke you. You stop giving your peace to those who haven't earned it. You start realizing that calm isn't passive, it's powerful. It's what allows you to think clearly in chaos, lead wisely under pressure, and love fully without losing yourself. When you reach this level of emotional control, you start noticing how peaceful your life becomes. The noise doesn't disappear, but it no longer defines you. The criticism doesn't sting because you've separated opinion from truth. And that's the secret. Being unbothered doesn't mean the world stops attacking you. It means you stop letting it control you. The more you master your emotions, the freer you become. Because nothing and no one can disturb a person who knows how to guard their peace. You can't be manipulated by what you don't react to. You can't be shaken by what you've already accepted. People will wonder how you stay calm. They'll test you. They'll provoke you. But you'll learn to smile because you know the difference between reacting to prove a point and responding to protect your peace. That's what emotional control really is. It's self-respect in action. It's refusing to let temporary emotions create permanent damage. It's walking away from things that lower your energy. It's choosing silence over senseless debate. And it's trusting that your calm presence is stronger than any loud reaction. So train yourself. Every day, choose peace over drama. Choose presence over panic. Choose control over chaos. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to be peaceful. And when you learn that peace is your responsibility, not a reward, that's when you become truly unbothered. Detachment doesn't mean disconnection. It means direction. Too often, people misunderstand what detachment really is. They think if you detach, you stop caring. But that's not detachment, that's indifference. Detachment is not about walking away from everything. It's about walking toward what truly matters without being controlled by what doesn't. It's the ability to stand in the middle of chaos and still know where you're going. You see, when you're attached to outcomes, people, or approval, you give those things power over your peace. You start to depend on them for validation, happiness, and identity. And the moment they change, your mood changes. But when you learn to detach, you stop being a prisoner to things outside your control. Detachment is clarity. It's what allows you to see the bigger picture without being blinded by emotion. It's choosing to step back, observe, and decide instead of react and regret. It's not coldness, it's control. You can care deeply about someone and still choose peace over pleasing them. You can love without losing yourself. You can give without expecting. You can show up fully while still knowing when to step away. That's emotional maturity. Detachment says, I don't need to own this moment to be okay in it. It gives you freedom from the illusion that everything has to go your way for you to be happy. The truth is, attachment is often rooted in fear. The fear of loss, rejection, or change. We hold on too tightly because we're afraid of what happens if we let go. But the more you cling, the more you suffer. The tighter you hold, the more you lose balance. Life moves, people change, seasons shift, and detachment teaches you to move with them instead of fighting them. It teaches you to release control without losing direction. Because detachment isn't about quitting, it's about aligning. It's about asking yourself, does this serve my peace? Does this align with my purpose? Or am I just holding on because I'm scared to lose it? When you begin to answer those questions honestly, you'll start realizing how much unnecessary weight you've been carrying. Think of it like this. You can't drive forward if you're staring in the rearview mirror. Detachment allows you to face the road ahead. It doesn't mean forgetting the past, it means refusing to live there. It's realizing that some people, no matter how much you love them, aren't meant to go where you're headed. Some situations, no matter how familiar, aren't helping you grow. And some habits, no matter how comfortable, are quietly keeping you stuck. When you detach, you make space for what's meant for you to enter. You stop forcing, chasing, and begging for peace and start becoming the kind of person who attracts it naturally. Being unbothered isn't possible without detachment. Because if your peace depends on how someone treats you, you're not free, you're controlled. Detachment gives you your power back. It's saying, I can love you and still let you go if you cross my boundaries. It's saying, I can care about this situation but not let it destroy my inner calm. That's strength. That's awareness. That's what emotional direction looks like. It's moving forward even when your heart wants to stay still. It's choosing what's right over what's easy. It's realizing that peace doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you've stopped letting imperfect things control you. To master detachment, start by creating space between what happens and how you respond. Every time you take a breath before reacting, you strengthen that space. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you honor that space. Every time you walk away from a situation that doesn't deserve your energy, you expand that space. That space is where peace lives. That space is where you make choices based on values, not emotions. That space is where direction begins. Because without detachment, you can't see clearly enough to know where to go. It's not about building walls, it's about building wisdom. Detachment doesn't isolate you. It elevates you. It teaches you to connect without clinging, to give without guilt, to love without losing yourself. When you detach from needing to control everything, you start trusting that everything will unfold the way it's meant to. That's not passivity, that's power. Because control is exhausting, but trust is freeing. And when you trust, you stop chasing what's not for you and start growing what is. You stop begging for closure and start creating peace within yourself. You stop overthinking people's actions and start protecting your reactions. That's the calm confidence that comes with direction. People who misunderstand your detachment will call you cold, distant, or emotionless. But that's because they've never seen someone so centered that chaos can't move them. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you finally care enough about yourself to stop being drained by everything around you. It's what allows you to walk through conflict without being consumed by it, to be in love without being lost in it, to face disappointment without being defined by it. When you detach, you're not pushing people away, you're pulling yourself back into alignment. And you know what's interesting? The moment you detach from needing something, it often comes naturally because you're no longer desperate. You're no longer vibrating from fear or lack. You've replaced attachment with acceptance. Acceptance that what's meant for you will stay and what isn't will go. Acceptance that peace is found in surrender, not struggle. That's how you move from control to direction, not by forcing life to obey you, but by flowing with what's right for you. So practice detachment daily. When someone disrespects you, detach from the need to defend yourself. Your peace is proof enough. When plans fall apart, detach from frustration. Maybe it wasn't supposed to happen that way. When people leave, detach from resentment. Their absence might be the space your growth needed. Because every time you let go, you gain something more valuable: direction, the ability to move forward without dragging the past with you. And that's where true peace lives, not in holding on, but in knowing when to let go. Calmness is confidence in motion. Think about that for a second. When you see someone calm under pressure, you're not just seeing peace, you're seeing power. Calm people aren't calm because life is easy. They're calm because they've learned how to stay steady when life gets loud. Confidence isn't always about what you say or how you stand. It's about the energy you carry when everything around you is uncertain. Calmness is the quiet language of self-trust. It's the ability to say, I've been here before and I know how to handle it. When you're calm, you don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to control everything. You trust that no matter what's happening, you can handle it. Calmness isn't weakness, it's mastery. Anyone can be peaceful when everything is going right. Real strength shows up when everything goes wrong and you still choose composure, because chaos feeds on reaction. The more you panic, the more power you give to the problem. But when you stay calm, you interrupt that pattern. You shift the energy. You remind yourself that control doesn't come from force, it comes from focus. Calmness is what lets you think clearly when everyone else is losing their cool. It's what turns pressure into presence. It's what separates leadership from panic. And the truth is, calm people often win not because they're the loudest, but because they can see the whole board when everyone else is blinded by emotion. Every time you lose your calm, you lose clarity. You stop responding and start reacting. You say things you don't mean. You make decisions you regret. You give away your peace in exchange for temporary satisfaction. But calmness teaches you patience, not the passive kind, but the powerful kind. The kind that says, I'll respond when I'm ready, not when I'm triggered. That's confidence. That's control. You stop being a slave to your emotions and start being a master of your reactions. And that's how calmness becomes your greatest strength, because the calmer you are, the more power you hold. People who are easily shaken are easily controlled. But those who remain calm under fire are unbreakable. Think about the moments in your life when you lost your calm. How often did those reactions help? Most of the time, they made things worse. Because reacting from anger clouds judgment. Responding from peace clears it. Calmness doesn't mean you don't feel pressure. It means pressure doesn't dictate your next move. You start learning that not everything deserves a response. Silence becomes your strategy, patience becomes your weapon, and presence becomes your protection. When you stay calm, you give yourself time, and time gives you wisdom. And wisdom always outperforms reaction. Calmness slows the world down just enough for you to see what really matters. The calm person in the room often carries the most power, because calmness signals control, and control builds trust. In relationships, in business, in leadership, people follow calm energy. They trust it. Because calmness says, no matter what happens, I'm not going to lose myself. That's why calm people often stand out, not because they're emotionless, but because they're emotionally intelligent. They know when to speak, when to pause, when to walk away. They don't rush decisions out of fear, and they don't let noise decide their direction. Calmness gives you that edge. It keeps you steady when the world tries to shake you, but calmness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. You build it by facing moments that test your patience and choosing peace anyway. You build it by going through storms that could have broken you but didn't. You build it by learning how to breathe through discomfort, how to think before reacting, how to step back before speaking. Every time you choose calmness over chaos, you're training your mind to trust itself. And the more you trust yourself, the more confident you become. Confidence isn't about pretending to have it all together. It's about knowing you'll be okay even if you don't. Calmness also protects your energy. Because when you stay calm, you stop feeding what drains you. You stop giving emotional access to people who haven't earned it. You stop letting minor things steal major parts of your peace. That's confidence in motion. Knowing that your mood doesn't depend on someone else's behavior. You can listen without absorbing. You can observe without reacting. You can care without carrying the weight. That's not detachment, that's discipline. It's understanding that peace isn't something you wait for. It's something you choose in every moment. Calmness doesn't mean silence, it means presence. You can be calm and still assertive. You can be calm and still passionate. Calmness isn't about lowering your energy, it's about directing it. When you're calm, your words carry weight because they're not scattered by emotion. Your tone carries power because it's steady. Your presence carries influence because it's grounded. And that's what confidence really looks like. Not shouting louder, but standing stronger. You don't have to convince people when your calmness already communicates control. The quietest person in the room often says the most without saying much at all. You'll notice something powerful when you start practicing calmness. Life feels slower, but in the best way. You stop rushing. You start noticing. You listen more than you speak. You think more than you react. You find yourself handling situations that used to overwhelm you with ease. That's growth. That's transformation. Calmness becomes your default, not your effort. And from that calm, confidence flows naturally. Because when you're calm, you stop doubting yourself. You stop chasing validation. You stop panicking over things beyond your control. You start trusting your ability to navigate whatever comes next. And here's the truth. Calmness doesn't come from a peaceful life. It creates one. The calmer you are, the less drama finds you. The calmer you are, the clearer your decisions become. The calmer you are, the more magnetic your presence feels. Because calmness is energy, and people are drawn to those who make them feel safe, steady, and seen. You become that kind of person when you stop reacting to every storm and start being the stillness that outlasts it. Confidence isn't about showing you're strong, it's about showing you're stable. And stability begins where calmness lives, so train yourself daily to return to calm. When someone disrespects you, breathe before speaking. When a situation feels out of control, remind yourself that panic never fixed anything. When life feels uncertain, ground yourself in what's true right now. The more you practice calmness, the more you realize that everything you were chasing, peace, confidence, direction, was already inside you. You just needed quiet to hear it. Calmness is not the absence of noise, it's the power to stand steady within it. That's confidence in motion at the end of the day. Staying unbothered isn't about becoming cold, it's about becoming clear. It's about understanding that your peace is sacred, your energy is valuable, and your reaction is your responsibility. You can't control how people act, but you can control how you respond. And that choice, that pause, is where your power lies. So from this day forward, stop trying to fix what was never yours to fix. Stop letting small minds shake your big spirit. Stop chasing peace from people who thrive on chaos. Instead, build your peace within. Train your emotions, guard your energy. Protect your calm like it's your greatest currency, because it is. You don't have to prove yourself to be powerful. You don't have to react to be respected. You don't have to shout to be heard. Your calm is your confidence. Your silence is your strength. And your peace, that quiet, steady peace, is the loudest message you'll ever send. If this spoke to you, share it. Someone out there needs to be reminded that peace is possible, and it starts within.